actually have no idea how to use this, so I'm kind of guessing. I'll just go this way. Does it shoot forward? Here, I'll make a left this way. And we will head towards North Face. That's right. Okay. I'm just going to test this for a few minutes. I was trying to figure out the features on my phone, and I figured I'd play around with the live streaming. So doing the best I can without sophisticated equipment. So we'll just sort of head on east on Walnut and rotate device, it says, this way. All right, we'll go this way. So we will do this and do the best I can with some very crude equipment that I kind of patchwork together. It's not, the best, but here we go. Oops, and then of course I'll have to mute all my sounds and everything. Let's see. I'll let it go for now since it's a test run. We're walking up on a live musician over here by Verizon, catty-cornered from AT&T. T29, please. Right? How many heartaches must I stand? Right? So here we go. Is it actually working? I'm kind of curious. Yeah, we'll just keep going. And Pete's over there with, I call it the pickup sticks light situation. And then Max Brenner, chocolate by the bald man over here. I've been wanting to go so badly. I was supposed to meet up here with someone once, but she fell ill that day and couldn't show up. So it's like, oh, we'll have to go another time. But anyway, head this way.
Yeah, I mean, this is just too much.
So it's, early Friday evening, April Fool's Day, April 1st. Heading past Good Dog Bar, a favorite for a lot of people. Come sit and stay. Philly loves its dogs, so it's apropos that they would have a bar that indicates that. With its outdoor dining chalets. Let's see. I feel like it's backwards, but it isn't. All right, we'll go with it. That would be the Patco line down there. If you go down there, you could head on over to New Jersey. And technically, you can walk underground for a while. There's a Ben Franklin lookalike. Okay. Coming out of Misconduct Tavern over here, another popular favorite in Philadelphia. So I need to get a better ground situation.
So I don't know where these were.
Or stabilizer. I will check my phone to see if there's a stabilizer in it for smoother, higher quality videos. I'm kind of curious how this is gonna pan out, but it's a test run and we'll go with it. The device that I'm holding the phone with is just a mount. It's really a mount for one of those halo lights that you get from Five Below. And it doesn't technically hold the phone in the perfect way possible. So I'll have to figure out if there's a better method for doing so. Let's see. Still in there. Am I supposed to press anything? I guess I'm okay. There was someone in. Oh, now there's someone in. I'm just testing the live streaming on my phone. I finally figured out there was a feature here that would allow me to do it after uploading YouTube as an app. In the past, I couldn't really upload too many apps. My phone couldn't handle everything, so I cleaned out some storage. I tried to, tweak it a little bit, and it seems to be working. So we'll go with it. I'll head towards maybe Rittenhouse. Or not. Let's see.
Yeah.
Which way should I go? some great window art for, I forget the name of the store here at the Lanesboro.
No, I don't have that.
Philly is only so big, so and there are certain places I could go to do a live stream. I don't know. I thought about the yoga tomorrow. Maybe I'll walk down the river walk tomorrow morning. I want to participate in yoga, except you have to technically reserve a spot through Eventbrite these days. So I loved being able to just show up to yoga and donating on the spot. But the pandemic changed a bunch of rules, so you kind of have to go through Eventbrite now. Do I want to go towards Hyatt Centric?
QR code.
Alright, so anyway, this is a total test run. Never done a live stream before, but I was hoping to up my subscriber count and, try to truck on up to 1,000 subscribers and then maybe monetize the channel. I want to work on my presentation. So I do worry sometimes because I actually do have PTSD. I can be triggered by a certain activity that's going on. And that would be an example. So there was a time when I loved the city and I could care less whether people honked horns or anything. Okay, this reminds me of Adam over here, the guy over there. But these days it bothers me a lot more to hear horn honking. Lots of puddles on the corners, so I have to be careful of that. Just because I have this phone loosely fixed to a mount. I meant to contact Adam to let him know that I would test out this live thing, but I did it so spontaneously and impromptu that I just figured, well, I'll test it for now and go from there. If it works out, if I get home and can upload it, then maybe I'll come out for a Friday night jaunt. So anyway, maybe I'll go up to Sansom Street. Sansom has all the restaurants except for the block where they're doing construction. So always fun stopping by the newsstands and stuff like that for snacks, food, or lottery tickets. We are currently on, 16th, heading north towards Sansom. There are actually healthy people in Philadelphia. There's a ton of healthy people, despite the Kensington videos that go ahead, click on over to Kensington, and there is another sad reality happening in America that is a serious problem. But here I figured, well, we'll show kind of the healthier sides. Philly does its best to kind of stay up there if it can. So we have a lot of healthy people here who run and do all that kind of stuff. But it's still a hurting city for sure. They got rid of the outdoor dining for Marathon Grill. Used to be here, so they are allowing traffic down the street. This is very recent that they opened up this street and turned on the traffic light. So there is a yoga studio up here. They changed it a little bit. It used to be there was a collective. I think they might still have the collective here. Wait, hold on. It looks different because they moved the outdoor seating literally to the sidewalk instead of in the street. Oh my gosh. Right, they're sitting right in front of hot yoga. So yoga up there. So anyway, it used to say Yoga Actory, like someone took the F off of it and it said Yoga Actory instead of Yoga Factory. It was so funny. It's so Philly to do something like that. So Oyster House. So anyway. Little test run. I'm worried about dropping my phone because the mount that I have is a little bit slippery. Should I go back? I'm trying to figure out. Now, I have no idea like how I don't have all kinds of sophisticated things. So should someone like comment or do live chat, I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have to be to 1,000 subscribers to live chat, or can you comment in live chat? I'll have to figure it out later. But nonetheless, a little bit of a live situation here. We'll go past the Union League. Kind of curious. My battery, I'm not sure how much my battery life is worth at this moment. It was around 60 something, and I'm sure that this sucks the battery dry. So I'm limited in my capacity to do that. Do live streams for too long. Chris's Jazz Cafe, live jazz bar restaurant. In fact, Adam Flint just posted a video, acid jazz, and jump roping. So he'll combine things and have fun with his YouTube channel. And then that Dodge Charger, or whatever, cop car, racing to the scene, slightly undercover-ish, I guess, with the lights in the grill as opposed to a regularly marked one. So, okay. This way, I wound up with this is not that interesting, but I wound up with a little bit of an allergic reaction or something in my left eye, and it puffed up. So I was kind of taking it easy today. Tried to kind of rinse it a little bit to see if it would dry out a little. But I got, I was kind of tired of staying inside to get that thing to heal. So come on out here. Get some action. Regular show in Philly. Union League here, where people come to, break bread, rub shoulders, all of that stuff. I don't know how much it costs to become a member, but usually people who join have more than your average fare, I think. So that's the Union League. Make sure that I'm getting it totally, yeah. University of the Arts over there, ballet studio or dance floor studio, what have you, where the red banners are. Underneath used to be a Wawa. They had to go. With the pandemic, they closed down, but also when they opened that thing, it became like the place to go. It was so overrun with people. It was a little bit ridiculous. It probably got a little bit out of control, to be honest. So I don't know if these are Union League people or, the special. Do you want me to go down here? Here, we'll go down here. I'm going to show the subway a little bit. Subway life in Philly. Technically, I can walk underground for a while. They have one section cut off. But here's a view underground. And sorry if I can't respond to any chats or anything. It's my first time going live. I can't see any chats if, in fact, chat is activated. It didn't ask me on the phone, and I don't know how to use it quite yet properly. So anyway, this would be the underground. The Broad Street line runs up and down, north and south on Broad. I'll head down here towards the Patco line. And the Patco line runs east to west. West only until about 15th and Locust, or 16th and Locust. And east, it'll just keep going all the way over to New Jersey. But in terms of getting down into the Patco line, you can access it right around 15, 16 and Locust, all the way over to, 12th and Locust. After that, I don't know if there's any other access to Patco line. In my mind, there must be, but I don't know. So this is the more exciting side of Philly. So Friday night excitement. So, big open space. You'd want to bring like skateboards down here or what have you. And then Patco goes, well, that you can walk all the way, actually you can only walk to about 15. Otherwise, then you have to go up, but you can access on 16th and walk for about a block and try to access there. Or you can go east. I think you can go all the way. Let's see if I can get over there. Let's see, we'll get a little tour of Patco. Here we'll go. These brave souls here. Do we have to, can I get through there? It might be locked, I'm not sure. I kind of remember it being open in the past, but let's see. Let's see. Is it looks like it's closed. Okay, it's not open. You have to go above ground to get to Patco. So it's just kind of the sign of the times right now. I think with the cold weather and everything, and the pandemic, they might have let some people kind of like camp out in here just to stay warm. So we'll go up here, I guess. We can't go. This is one of the better exits of the underground at the Broad Street line subway entry system. That would be the Walnut Street entrance. Going on up to Locust. Like Walnut Locust is one big gigantic stop. And this is the Doubletree Hotel. So if Adam were in here, he would love that shot there. Academy House. As I come up from the steps, I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, I'll keep walking up. And I'll head into the danger zone, the Gayborhood. So, sorry. Head over here to Standing O. Used to be upstairs at Villani. I forget, I don't know what they've renamed this restaurant on the second floor. Heading into the Gayborhood. Let's go this way. Oh wait, there's a little police situation over there. So anyway, and on here, it's a little quiet right now. The Gayborhood's about a block and a half away. Another entrance to the Patco line here, the red. It reminds me, it says it's a subway entrance. Because it's red, it reminds me of the subscribe button. So if you want to, why not go ahead and subscribe? I'm really bad about asking, to be honest. Someone's like, just go out there and like ask people to subscribe. So please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow the channel with little resources here and testing around with the live stream, hoping the battery will keep going. So we'll see here. Still quiet on the home front. It's a little early for the party to get started here, unless it were a special like event or holiday or something like that. So people would start coming out closer to like 8, 9, 10, 11. The Gayborhood mural, infamous. I think the artist's last name is like Seligman, like Meg Seligman or something like that. Bud and Maryland's. And this used to be Bump. It's been like a million different names. It was Bump, and then it was something else, and then finally Bud and Maryland's. So we'll go down here next to Bud and Maryland's, and then Little Nona's. Little Nona's owned by a same-sex couple, lesbian couple, Toonie and something. And I every time I have to look up their names. Sorry, I'm so out of practice with recalling their names. But they did real good for themselves, and they own a bunch of shops, restaurants, whatever, in Midtown Village. And this is sort of on the more the southern cusp of Midtown Village. So people love to patronize their restaurants just because they're run so well, and why not? You know, how often do you see two women highly successful in the business? So anyway, Uncle's Bar or U Bar, and then Tavern on Kamak all the way down there. Hopefully the phone is picking it up. And this is the Gayborhood, kind of like the corner of it. So we want to go straight towards Tavern on Kamak. All right, we'll go over to the fish market over here. So this is Latimer Street, and this is behind the home of Tammy Sortman, one of the more well-known names in the Gayborhood. She's the one who brought the gay signage to the Gayborhood. She's was and I guess still is heavily involved in the tourism industry in terms of making sure LGBT community, making sure that community is represented and so forth and so on. So she lives back up around there. I won't point directly, but she's in one of those. So anyway, back here, oh, did they turn out the light? So back here, there used to be, oh my gosh. I'm going to peek in here really quick. There used to be a sign that said Fish Market. I was kind of curious what it was going on back here, but they've done something because it looks like they've cleaned up or done something different. I was trying to figure out for years, I'm not kidding, for years, what is this building? So anyway, and I couldn't, you look online, there's not really a good explanation as to what it is. So anyway, I'm still going here. So there's one, it's either myself or one other person who's kind enough to humor me while I do this. So thank you, and sorry for the chat. Like, I don't know how to do that yet. I don't even know if my phone is advanced enough or if you have to have a certain number of subscribers. I don't know, the Philly Captain. Okay, resuming, Joy, what is this? Line. Okay, we are resuming. Hopefully we're on again. I'll just keep going as if it's actually running. I think it is. So sorry about that. I kind of am learning as I go with a fairly inexpensive phone with not too many fandangled things, red bells and whistles, what have you. I'm using a charger to keep my phone going. We're walking along Spruce Street. Philly did this crazy thing a few years ago. It used to have its bike lanes on the right-hand side. So like people traveling west, like the bike lane would actually be on the right-hand side. Sort of like, it kind of would seem like it would make sense that it would be on that side. A couple years ago, they flipped everything. So Spruce heads west, and they put the bike lane on the left-hand side. And Pine Street runs east, and they did the same thing on Pine Street. Like they switched the lane to the opposite side. This is Green Street Coffee Company, a really popular place to come, a really cute, cozy, quaint place. People love to come here as opposed to going to, say, Starbucks. There are so many Starbucks, although a few of them closed with the pandemic. This has been here for years. Someone lost her life, I guess. A bike accident, car accident situation. So I may head down here towards Con Park. And this is part of Washington Square West / the Gayborhood / what have you. Also, Effie's is down here, the Greek restaurant. I think I kind of talked about it and joked about it a little bit because of the phallic symbol of the eye which is an ionic column in Greek ionic column. So, you know, if you're a certain type of guy, you could take your girl right to Effie's on a Friday night and you get it already. That has happened. So that would be like your sophomore, you know, college kid, or, you know, or these, you know, even high school kid these days. So anyway, we are heading down 11th. 11th has railroad tracks still on, like trolley tracks. And 12th does also. They don't use these trolley tracks in this section of the city. They do up on Frankfurt and what do I want to say, Girardish or so, up near Johnny Brenda's and Fishtown. So they use them there, and then also there's like a big gigantic trolley that travels back and forth up there. And then they have the trolley, of course, that runs underground over to West Philly, which surfaces around, 36th Street. So anyway, Clinton Street over here. And I'm guessing it's after, oh, I forgot there's a Cole house. My last name is Cole. And there's actually an apartment building. Some of these buildings have apartments in them, even though they look like homes, called Cole's house. So maybe someday, it's 2 blocks down actually, maybe someday. Really stately. I actually got to see one once because I used to run with the Front Runners. This is a gay running group, and they had an after reception party after a marathon, like the Philadelphia Marathon, which happens in November each year. So we have all your Indigo bikes, sort of like New York City. They have city bikes, I think, and we have Indigo bikes with Independence Blue Cross. This is Kahn Park, Kahn, and Louis I. Kahn technically made a name for himself as a fairly infamous architect. His office is being on the 1500 block of Walnut way back in the day. I saw a documentary. This is why I know this about him. He did the Salk Institute and then some really huge projects from around the world. Here, this would be Louis I. Kahn, Philadelphia architect and educator of international acclaim and a resident of this neighborhood. Oh, I didn't know he actually lived in this section. So he had like an illegitimate child or something, and his illegitimate son or whatever actually produced a documentary about wishing to have had a better relationship with his father, like a closer relationship. But back in those days, I guess that didn't happen. So the sun is blaring from the west here. So I'll just show you this section of Pine Street, Salon Nirvana, Ola, View, TY. So we have the feminine fingers tickling the petal of the flower over there. That used to be called Aroma. Now it's Mabu or Mabu. And then, of course, Effie's. So conspiracy theories runneth wild over this. So there's Effie's. And yes, I did know a guy who actually took someone out to dinner with the intentions of taking her home after going to Effie's. So there's Effie's. Authentic Greek. And then across the way used to be Aroma, and before that, Astral Plane. So we're heading down here towards a bookstore that I used to work in. Actually, now it's AIDS Thrift. Down here past the American flag. It's down by the gay flag. We have First Mixed 2, which is a restaurant here with these sparkly blinker lights on the trees. Very popular restaurant, has been here for years, and I guess it'll just keep going. So there you have it. And then AIDS Thrift, which used to be Giovanni's Room Bookstore. I actually used to work here when it was a bookstore. I have an interesting story. A whole bunch of people showed up at once, and I was a little bit like swarmed and like freaked out for a minute because too many people showed up at once, and it became like a swarming situation. So anyway, that's Gloria Casares right there. I don't know. Hopefully I can get her in there. Let me see. There with the glasses. So anyway, she passed away and had a mural on the 12th Street Gym, which has since been demolished. I don't know what they're gonna do. Now, Giovanni's room. Once was a bookstore, now AIDS thrift. A little factoid about AIDS. O negative blood is immune to HIV and AIDS. I have O negative blood. And my birthday's on December 1st, World AIDS Day. And there's lots of people. And they actually had I was born in 1970. They actually have had studies done to see if they could get the mutated, there's a mutated gene or antigen or something on the outside of the cell that prevents HIV from getting in the cell. They had a zinc finger nuclease study over at Smithsonian Research Center to see if they could get that mutated gene into other people's blood who do not have O negative blood and who are trying to manage HIV. They had some success significant enough to make it into the New England Journal of Medicine. So that's a pretty big deal. And I don't know where it's gone from there. I lost track. I wrote like a whole essay on it while I was doing my MFA, The Power of Small and Tiny Things. So anyway, little interesting fact that more people I wish knew about. The O negative blood is a universal blood type. It is there for you if your blood type is not available in an emergency or you're in the OR looking for a transfusion or something. You can always rely on O negative blood. So we are walking up 12th Street. It's a little quiet tonight, to be honest. The more active part of the neighborhood is further north here. I kind of walked really far south to get down to Louis Icon Park. So we'll walk up here past Tria. Tria is the wine bar on the corner up here by the red light. And then hopefully the battery will, sorry if I don't have the best. I'm trying to figure out, I may have to either flip the, let me see, I may have to get a grommel or whatever you call it. So that a viewfinder situation, I can't figure out. So, I can't stand it. Sometimes I can't help but smile in the Gayborhood sometimes because it's, it's a fun place to be sometimes. Let's see. So that is Tria, a very popular place. I've been there twice. Once with someone I worked with at Giovanni's room, and we went for wine and cheese after seeing did we see Margaret Cho together, or did we do a Katie Lang thing? This is way back. We're going back to 2007, 8. I can't remember, or did I see Margaret Cho by myself? I might have given up on humanity altogether and wound up getting tickets to see Margaret Cho back in 2007, 2008, all by myself. So everyone, of course, waiting for her to do the phone call bit with her mom. That's so many years ago, These days, the newer generation might not even know that skit, and I kind of forget it. I just know, she kind of makes fun of the way her mom sounds, on the phone when answering. They kind of do a funny bit there. So anyway, headed on up to Knock, a gay bar up here, a gay restaurant. It's predominantly a gay bar restaurant. It's more of a restaurant with a bar in it. I think it's owned and operated by the same entities that own and operate Woody's. And Woody's has been here for eons. And it's over on the 13th Street block. Sorry, over on 13th Street. 13th. So same people have been here for years, I already saw a couple people sitting in the window, and they've been here for, 20 years. So, it's kind of funny because you see the same faces, and some things never change, right? So I used to walk a dog here in Cosmopolitan up by the rental office. He actually lived opposite the rental office way back in the day. Courtney and his German Shepherd. So that used to be the 12th Street Gym. I don't know how quickly they're going to get moving on any new development. So there you have it. A lot of people were sad to see it go. It was like here for years, a hot spot. And at this time on a Friday night, that gym would have been packed with guys pumping iron, ready to go out for the evening. No longer. I don't know what they're going to do here. I think, is it a residential? So anyway, let me head this way. So Charlie's Salon, U-Haul, Alabama. I still feel like it's quiet-ish. We'll head on over to Woody's section. That's a block west. Starbucks used to be cozy, and then it turned into a Starbucks, and Starbucks used to be where CVS is. So they hopped on over after they cleared out cozy and the firewood pizza and all that stuff. So we will head to Woody's just to sort of get a look-see. I'm totally test driving the live stream because I really don't do or I would like to start up doing live stream more often. I'm testing it on my phone with limited battery power and what have you. What do I want to say? Holding camera capabilities. I have it mounted to a stick, so hopefully it's coming out okay. We are heading west on Walnut. Let's see, 1213. That's new-ish, as of like 2016-ish. So beautiful building. You can walk through the drive port area and get over to Sansom, and there's some restaurants over there. And that's kind of the hot spot of the Gayborhood as well. Actually, that's, yeah. Well, hopefully the battery will last because that's more of what's happening. 13th Street is where it's at. During the day, in the past, when the gym opened, back in the day, I would have said that 12th Street would have been where it's happening because I always think of the gym. But really, 13th Street is the heart of it. Midtown Village is here, and Marcy Tooney and her wife running the show for much of Midtown Village because they own Verde, they own, oh my God, Lolita. I don't know if Lolita's open right now. They own like 3 or 4 restaurants on the block over there, which we can go up in a second. I will quickly pan the camera towards the left, just so you can see Woody's and the Glow Bar. So, right. So there's Woody's. It's a bit quiet right now. Kind of curious. And Glow Bar. It's too early on a Friday. It's also April Fool's Day, so maybe people are playing it safe right now. So, you know. They have an underage night either, Thursday? It used to be like Thursdays. I don't know if they've changed it. So those nights are really happening around here. Sampan graffiti bar over there by the basket weaving facade. That's Sampan. Insomnia Cookie, of course. Charlie was a sinner. We have our risque Danny's. And then, of course, Elvis. So this is Midtown Village. This is where it's happening, you know, on a Friday night, or any night for that matter, from Wednesday on, I guess, in the Gayborhood. So lots of people out at Elvis is always busy. It's like never not busy. Van Llewellyn. Used to be Capagiro's Gelato. Now we have ice cream and vegan ice cream at Van Llewellyn. And we'll head over here towards Barbuzzo. That's one of the ladies, Marcy and her partner. They do Barbuzzo. Verde is a shop, more like a gift shop. They have chocolates and stuff in there. Yum, yum, yum. Duress and Langell over here. A yoga instructor who I loved half owns that shop over there, D&L. Oh, Lolita's is not, right. So Verde, with the pandemic, a lot of changes occurred, and I wasn't here to witness everything happening during the pandemic. So that's it. That's your big Midtown Village situation. it doesn't seem like a lot right now. It seems extra quiet for some reason. It's usually a lot more active. Zio Pizza. We have this place, and I don't know the name of it. Open House, I guess is just what it's called. This has changed a couple times. They have Good Luck Pizza Company. They had like a in City Hall. They had, I forget what it was called, something like this, and they had like an open garden in City Hall, and it might have been like similar to, it was Luck Love or Love Luck or something like that. So that's that. So giving you a tour here. Grocery belonged to them, but they closed that down. And sorry, I'm not paying attention to any chat. I can't see the chat by filming this way. I have to figure out how to operate this camera while being able to also view chat. It's not like I don't know how that works. I'll have to ask other people how that works. I guess I could put it in my description or title that I can't see the chat from the way that I'm handling the phone/camera. I guess if you had a more sophisticated camera that had a viewfinder, anyway, it doesn't make sense because you have to have a phone. Anyway, well, I'll think about it later. We'll go this way. As long as the battery is still working, I'll head on over to City Hall. This is Starbucks connected to Macy's. Do we want to go? All right, we will go to closer to City Hall. I am currently walking up 13th Street towards Market. Mom's Organic Market is about 2 blocks east. You would head east on Clover next to this church and then run into Ludlow and then go that way. And it's, anyway, it feels like an infrastructure that was placed down in there for like the DEA because you can kind of see it from here. Those lights all the way down there. That's Canopy, but it's Can and then OPY is in italics. Then the Federal Donuts and what else? Schmear It Bagels and Mom's Organic Naked Lunch. So that all adds up to the Drug Enforcement Agency in my convoluted little mind. So anyway. It's a church with St. John's Historic Graveyard and Tableau. We'll just keep walking. And I guess the days will get longer. Like it just feels like it's light out later and later and later each day. Come by here where there's post office. I visited many times here.
It feels like too close.
So no one loves standing in line at the post office. That's like a thing. I think everyone can kind of relate to that experience. And it's like, it's so worth it. Like to almost like, if you could invest in your own scale and everything and meter or whatever, and just like, anything to avoid having to, I know you can do things, that's right, through email. There's you can sign up for something. I kind of forget what that, I'm thinking a little old school. Here's Market Street. All right, so Market Street down towards Ludlow. I'm saying Ludlow. We'll go down towards Mom's. I'll do a quick pan back. That's City Hall. So we are walking east from City Hall. I want to make sure you can barely see it. I'm kind of curious why you can't see William Penn. Oh, right, I have to pan over there with the buildings. It's hard to, William Penn is way up there. It's hard to see, sorry. And then with the little bit of light behind it. Alice. And every time I see Alice, I think of the lockdown system for public schools. And they use the acronym ALICE. A period, L period, I period, C period, E period. I was a substitute teacher in Gainesville High School, in Gainesville, Florida, in their public school system. It was the Alachua County Public Schools, and Alice was the lockdown system should there be any threat on campus. And that's any camp on any school. So even if you worked at a school that was 10 miles away from another school that was threatened, they might still do a lockdown just across the board. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. I'm not sure, anyway. I just know that when I was a substitute teacher, we had quite a few of them. It was a little surprising. A couple were drills and a couple were real. So it was kind of like a weird experience all around. I was like, oh, another Alice drill, another, all the kids are like, oh my gosh, some more dramatic than others. We have to dive under the desks. We have to go, barricade the doors and everything. So here we are on Market Street. This is as close as it gets to New York in Philadelphia. Because of, I don't know why. We're only so big and we can only have so much signage. I was totally on watching the live feeds, and they have like AE signage, or I forget the letters. Anyway, I was watching all the signage over Times Square and Duffy Square. So that was fun. Here's a Wawa here. I will actually head over here and go up to Mom's. So a lot of traffic coming in. Wawa. And once we get onto Ludlow, it's kind of a neat little section. East Market is what it's called. City Fitness is all up in the house here. I almost worked as a yoga instructor here. I met with the managers of the group fitness at City Fitness when I first got here, because I was actually quite scared. I needed to hurry up and get a job. I needed to find a way to make sure I had money coming in, this, that, and the other. So I contacted every gym, because technically I can teach yoga. At the time, they hadn't started up classes again yet on a regular basis, but they were willing to, talk to me. And then there's Federal Donuts, since I met with them, other things came along, and we sort of lost touch, and I didn't pursue it any further. The same with Sweat Fitness. It's just they couldn't start any new classes because of the pandemic when I first got here. So anyway, as a result, technically I was able to apply for pandemic assistance, saying, I was teaching yoga because of the pandemic. It shut down the classes that I was teaching at UFIT Health and Fitness in Gainesville, Florida. So I tried to look for some work here. They weren't ready to start up classes again, so I was able to get about 8-ish weeks. 8 or 10 weeks? I can't remember. The last little section, I was able to take advantage of pandemic assistance for the last couple months that it existed. I wish I could have dated it back further, because it was a help, and thank God that it existed, because I needed the help. So anyway, with that said, donations always accepted. I hate asking for money, but I wound up in a position where I've had to. But I do have links on my About page for various ways that donations can be made. I can't monetize my channel until I am up to 1,000 subscribers. So mangoes, my favorite. Mangoes are so good and yummy. Red mangoes particularly. So especially with the summer months coming up and the warmer weather, people forget about the mango. Here's Mom's Market, family owned and operated since. Honey Grow and Market Street. So I will keep going. I think, thank you for anyone who's tuned in, and sorry I can't read chat because I'm testing. This is a total test drive of live streaming on my phone, which I finally figured out how to use as a live stream situation. So I didn't know how to do it, and I had to erase a lot of things from my storage and everything else. I think I'll go through here. Excuse me. Heading on back up to Market Street. If I were to continue forward, I would go in towards Chinatown, where that Hilton Garden Inn signage is. I don't know if you can see it. All the way down there, the red signage. Garden Inn is part of, technically, the beginning of Chinatown-ish. So this is Market and 11th Streets. They just redid all this. See how it has like a basket weaving design, AMC, round one, bowling. Let's see, those little squares. Oh, oops. It looks like basket weaving. This is all brand new-ish. The pandemic kind of messed up the timing of everything. I left and this was not opened yet. It was being redone when I left to go to Florida for 2.5 years to be with my mom and aunt. And my dad lived further south in Florida with his wife. So we'll attempt crossing here without getting run over by anyone. So let's talk donuts or dry cleaning, TD Bank, unexpectedly human, or dog walking. So I was a dog walker for years. In a way, it was my saving grace. It was my savior, just because technically, I'm a writer, editor, and have had positions as a senior editor, a writer on staff for the Newark Post. I've written for trade magazines and everything. However, I wound up going freelance, having a contract through like a retirement group, Erickson Retirement Communities. That kept me going for a while in addition to other freelance work. I think it was just my life journey to wind up doing other things. Writing technically served as a voice and a way for me to become clear, if you will, in terms of communication. The way I grew up, here I'll pan back to communication wasn't always clear. So anyway, in a way, maybe I became more humanized. I don't know. We'll go with it, right? So anyway, SEPTA Regional Rail Lines, you can go downstairs. I could go in there. It actually, I can show through here. I don't know if you can see all down in there with the glass. But that's the subway station down there. So anyway, I know this person with the purple hair, but I won't say anything. It's Tammy's girlfriend. So anyway, she's on her high boy right now, traveling west towards Reading Terminal Market. Tammy Sortman has a girlfriend, Daniela. That's right. And that was her. So she lives a little east of where I am right now. So we will head into Chinatown-ish and see how far the battery charger and the camera can go. And I'll say it again, sorry I can't see the chat, otherwise I would chat with people who are saying things. I can't see it because of the way my phone is like filming, and it's my first time live streaming. I just decided I'll try it. Thanks in part to Adam, because he's like, just download the YouTube app, which I kind of might have had functioning a little bit already, or maybe not. I didn't have it functioning the right way, like I was just going into YouTube through my Google page. So anyway, he's like, just go on there and you can create like shorts and stuff. And then it was like, oh, I can do live stream directly from my phone. So I was a little bit late to the party and understanding how to do this kind of stuff. So, so anyway, Chinatown. So we go this way. Dunkin' Donuts. And do I want to cross over? I'll go this way towards ramen. It's funny, last night I was like, why does it smell like oodles and noodles or ramen soup? Last night, it's been a long time since I've actually like smelled ramen soup and stuff like that, because I haven't had to have it. I'm meaning the cheap kind that you get back when you're in school and stuff. And I was laying there going like, why? What is that familiar smell, odor, aroma, whatever? And I was like, I guess it's like oodles and noodles. Then I thought further and I was like, no, it's like that ramen stuff that you break up, buy and break up. I used to work for Shipt as a delivery food person. Made a lot of money doing that, by the way. Thank God, because it helped me get by. Anyway, I would come across ramen and whatever the other one is, there's another brand, often. The thing is, there was a limited purchasing amount on that one, sort of like toilet paper. You can only buy, like if you were ordering through Shipt, you could only buy one of each flavor or one of each pack, like large pack. So you can buy them in large packs. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to talk into the camera and hold it. So you could buy like these big, gigantic, large packs of ramens. And sorry for the noise on the phone. I don't know how, I'm just testing this. So anyway, I'll kind of crawl. There's Chinatown, everyone. Thanks. So there you have it. I'll make sure I get it as best I can. So that's the entryway to Chinatown, the formal entryway. I used to take care of someone's cat over on 1010 Race, which is a block and a half down this way, or north. Technically, we're heading north, even though the street kind of inclines towards the south, so it can be confusing. But this is the heart of Chinatown, so it's always fun to come in here on a Friday night. So still quiet. Technically, the population isn't what it was pre-pandemic. It would have been more crowded before the pandemic set in. So anyway, I forget what I was saying. Oh, working for Shipt. Limitation on how much ramen noodles you could get per pack. And anyway, sorry about that. I lost my train of thought, but I did work for Shipt. I lived with my mom and aunt, and luckily I was able to use my mom's car. I haven't had a car since 2000, since like the summer and fall of 2000. When I moved to Philadelphia, I officially gave up my Fox. It was a Volkswagen Fox stick shift manual that had a hole in the floor under the pedals, gray. I got it used for like $500. And it had the apropos stickers on it, like it had stickers on it to make it look all like coexisty and liberal and everything else. Had a little red stripe on the side, like it was like a gunmetal gray. So anyway, how far? Right, I want to go down to Race. So that's one more block down here. And I'll give a shout out to a bunch of people, Adam, for being incredibly kind to me, and I can't stand it. I said to him that I want to chomp on him because he's so adorable, nice, and cute. So anyway, not to mention a little bit hot. So anyway, and also to Action Kid from New York. Sorry, I meant to say him first because we're in Chinatown, but he has been in New York for years. I stumbled across him while learning about walking videos. And this kid was all over creation in New York City. Every day out there doing live streams relentlessly. So anyway, he even came down to UPenn area. Like I saw videos from even Philadelphia. And he did like the South Street walk from UPenn all the way down to Penn's Landing. So he recently announced that he was moving to Miami from New York, that he was just tired of New York City just because of stuff that goes on and this, that, and the other. So he was down in Florida in time for all the, whatever you call it, spring breaks. So he moved to Miami, hung out with James and Carla, another live stream couple in New York City, or other live streamers, and they happen to be a couple, with their dog Hudson. And he moved down to Miami, then he's all over creation, then ran up to Fort Lauderdale to catch a lot of spring break activity. Last I saw, I think he did an April Fool's video this morning where he was like mixing hummus with yogurt. So anyway, in his home. So anyway, here's 1010 Race. I've been in here a million times to take care of a cat named Marnie back in the day. I don't even think the person whose cat I took care of, I don't even think she lives here any longer. I moved to Florida, and like everybody made changes leading up to, during, and just after the pandemic. This is a cool place to go into, although it's a little different. It's not totally open. Dim Sum Garden and Nanzu, you know, Nanzu used to be in another location, and then I mean, it's been quite a few years, but now they're here. They used to be somewhere else. Anyway, so we are exiting Chinatown a little bit, kind of. This would be the eastern end of it. I just walked down the main drag of Chinatown. Philly's only so big, so so there you go. So thank you so much for anyone hanging on. I cannot chat. Sorry about that. Until I figure out how to use my phone in the best way. So we'll go up here. This is, yeah. Anyway, they've changed a lot of the names. A la Mousse. I forget, was I here when it was A la Mousse, or was I here right before? It was something right before it was A la Mousse. It was something else. And they had, I met up with my client from Tendon Race and had something whatever it was before A la Mousse. So anyway, and that quickly we're back onto a quiet street. That's Philadelphia. You go through pockets and then it's quiet. I guess, right. As I understand it, people might strap their videos to their chest. I'm just sort of curious, like how people read the chat while doing live stream if they were to use their phone, unless they have a separate viewfinder. So I noticed the license plate said A. Jarvis, and there's a guy named Jarvis in Gainesville, Florida. He managed a Starbucks by the Oaks Mall, and then moved over to the brand new Celebration Point Starbucks when it first opened. Anyway, when I was in Gainesville, Florida, I quickly took whatever job I could get just to earn some money really quick. And I actually spent time working at a Starbucks for about 8 months until I could find other income, other work, which included I actually was an instructor and taught a class at Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville, Florida. I substitute taught at private school and public schools. A whole bunch of things, never ends. I taught yoga and worked for Shipped. And there might be one or two additional things in there that I did for money, so what have you. So anyway, this is the other side of the Garden Inn, and so that you can see Reading Terminal Market, which is not open at this hour on a Friday. They're like 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. I kind of forget. And this is part of the convention center here. We're currently on Arch Street, heading east. So anyway, there's a whole skill to this thing, I think. So the quiet side, Reading Terminal Market would be over there. That signage is Old City Coffee with that coffee mug. Looks like a hot chocolate almost in the window there. And the convention center. Straight ahead Comcast building. If you can see it, that's the Comcast building. Panera Bread, and this would be 12th Street, which runs through the convention center and past Reading Terminal Market. It's hard to see there, but that's Reading Terminal. We'll walk towards it. Reading Terminal.
You do that shit.
I come to hotel. Keep going this way. And I'll try to come up on maybe Love Park or we'll see. Do I want to go this way? Yeah, we'll head straight down Arch. There's a Trader Joe's down here that's new-ish. Let's see. Alright, okay. There's Panera Bread over here. My guess is anyone staying in hotels and stuff probably go to Panera Bread. It's more of a, it's kind of touristy over here, less residential. There's a few, I take that back. There's 1222 Arch. I actually stayed there for one summer. I did some, well, I'm saying overnights, long-term house sitting and pet sitting for someone who lived at 1222 Arch one summer. I forget when that was, like 2005 or 6. And a beautiful loft in 1222 Arch. We've already passed it. So, but technically, oh, here it is, 1222 Arch, next to True Leave. So I was up in here, and they're really nice, and took care of someone's dog for about really 2.5 months. She was studying overseas, I guess, with Fox Business School, Temple University, and asked if I would. Her name was Eliza Cox. So anyway, hopefully she's doing well out there. That's gosh, you know, we're talking, it's crazy to think like it was 15 to 16, 17 years ago. Oh my gosh. That's 10, 11, great. God. Seems like yesterday, right? You know, people always say that. This is the back of Kid Stout Courthouse on Filbert Street. Like Filbert would be on the other side of this building. That's a courthouse there. This is Arch and the rest of the convention center here. And anyway, it's a live stream. Sorry, I can't respond to the chat so much. I can't see the chat. I'm testing. This is a test run on live stream in Philadelphia, and I'm Sharon with Philadelphia Walks PTSD. So anyway, Philly, if nothing else, is known for its murals. Big time on murals. There's a mural there. Water gives life. And this is the Eliza Shirley shelter. It says Salvation Army, but I recall it being Eliza Shirley House. So shelter for women, specifically for women. So we'll head down here, Convention Center parking and Trader Joe's. So get a peek inside. This is a little bit like New York City. It kind of reminds me of the New York City one. I've been up there. I've been to that one Trader Joe's that would be on my path from the new school over towards like the Javits Center. I used to walk to pick up like Bolt Bus or Mega Bus or whatever. And I always passed this one Trader Joe's. And every once in a while I would stop in there really quick for a yogurt or something just to keep me going. So anyway, heading this way, west on Arch towards Broad Street. Used to be a McDonald's over there on the corner. No longer. Philly has gotten rid of its downtown McDonald's. I came back and I was like, no way, you can't find a McDonald's around here at all. You have to go a little bit further out of the city to find one. So I don't know if they're going to bring them back or what. Broad Street, that would be North Broad Street up there. And then this would be heading south, but it gets cut off by City Hall, and then you have to go around City Hall to continue south on Broad Street. So that's North Broad Street. Hopefully I'm angling it correctly. Domino's up here at the, I think it's Payne, like Payne Plaza or something like that. So Comcast up there. The shorter building next to Comcast which has like a brownish hue. That is 1717 Arch. Also, it used to be the Firefighters Climb building. I don't know if you can see it, the short one right there. Firefighters would have an annual Firefighters Climb, and it was a fundraiser and everything else. With the pandemic, they took it out to like a stadium somewhere. So I don't know if they'll bring it back to that building or what. But there's the original Comcast, the tall one. And on the other side, you can't see it, Comcast 2. From this angle, even though Comcast 2 is possibly taller with that thing that sticks up that looks like a cigarette, you can't see it from this side because it's on the west side of that building. So heading down under here. Over on that side, hopefully I can sort of point to it. Let's come on out. Right. That building there, Family Court, that's now the Family Courthouse. They actually have an escape room game place or whatever around the corner here. Like on the other, around the corner, escape the room. I don't love it because it's across from the courthouse. I'm a little bit conspiratorial, so that's how I see it. I'll walk this way, like, ew, you know, I don't love those kinds of games. I'm not a game person in general, so I don't love the idea that people are trapped in a room trying to get out. And then across from the Family Court of Philadelphia. Escape room. Here, I'll show it. Amazing escape room. Family Court of Philadelphia. Here, we'll get a close-up of it. Amazing escape room. Family Court of Philadelphia. Yeah. No, thank you. Like, what if there were subversive messages throughout the city? And there it is. But it is interesting. This is a much better family courthouse. The original, like, juvenile / family courthouse was at 1801 Vine. I'm pretty sure they shut down the whole place. It's a complete wreck of a place. It's over there by the library on Vine Street. So anyway, I will keep streaming until and once again, sorry that I cannot respond to live chat. I don't know how to do it yet. So I think it still says in the title, this is a test run. Let's see if I can make it through without getting hit. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. So that's Love Park over there. Should we do Love Park? Here, we'll walk through Love Park. So that's a good shot of the city from here, hopefully. Belly of the Beast-ish. It's nice and quiet. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I'm kind of wondering where everyone is, but we might be in like sort of a mid-period of the end of spring breaks, before Easter and everything else. We'll go through here. That's City Hall over there. The Stealth building across from City Hall has like darker grayish windows. Let's see if I can find the Stealth building here. It's too hard for me to find it. So anyway, it's the grayish building, smoky windows. I used to take care of a dog in there, and as soon as you go in that building, complete silence. It's like being in a soundproof room. So I call it the Stealth building because of that. So Love Park, here it is in all its glory, Philadelphia. Let's see, can we see the love? I guess that's the love. It's that little sculpture there. It looks really tiny in the view, in like the view of my camera, but it's bigger in person. So that's Love Park, love sculpture. People with a little, affection there under the sculpture, whatever it's called. There it is. And this is newly done. It used to have a water fountain. Like, you used to be able to sit around a water fountain. Totally different. They totally revamped this whole thing. So water will come up during the summer or sometime in the spring. Water will come up out of these spouts in the ground, these little circles. For now, it's just a dry section. And that's straight on up to the art museum. So all the way up there would be the art museum. A straight on shot up Ben Franklin Parkway. So anyway, so my little Friday night adventure here as the sun sets. Temperatures are perfect. I actually like a little chill in the air. It's not too cold and it's not hot. I'm happy to be back up here in the Northeast. I don't fare well in the heat. I was in Florida in a car with no air conditioning, having to get around and working that way. A 1996-97 Ford Escort LS Maroon with the material on the roof, you know, coming away, ripping away. It looked all shredded and everything. So Pennsylvania Railroad Suburban Station. There you have it. So, do I want to walk? Which way do I want to walk? Right, quiet enough to actually do this. We'll go on through here. We'll take a shortcut down this road. Irish Pub, Tiernanog over here. There used to be a Starbucks in the Phoenix over here. I don't know if they're ever going to reopen because of the pandemic. Quite a few Starbucks shops closed down because of the pandemic. And some of them are licensed versus corporate. So I talked to one of the baristas at the Rittenhouse one who used to work over here. And I was like, didn't you work at the one over in the Phoenix? And he said, yes, that's me, but I don't know if they're going to reopen it. Because I asked, like, are they ever going to reopen that one? Or what's the dealio on that? And he wasn't sure because he believed the one here at the Phoenix was actually a licensed, not a corporate store. So it may have to deal with the fact that it's there in the Phoenix, a special property next to Philadelphia Federal Credit Union and Tiernanog. So I don't know how the ownership of that went on with that particular store. I thought it was a corporate store. I did not know. So anyway, walking on up here towards the side of the Comcast building, something that Philadelphia is famous for. A lot of people come out here to see the big screen. Usually, like in the past, you could go into the building and you could watch the big screen thing, show or whatever. You can't do that any longer. In fact, there's a guy on there. I don't even know if I can go up on the patio right now. Typically, you could go up even on the patio to see the activity on the big screen. So they have someone manning it right now. So I'll try to get as close as I can. I'll have to go up here to the light. So we're approaching Market, heading south on 17th. Can I make it really quick? Yeah, okay. So we'll kind of come over here. This is the beautiful walkway in front of Comcast. And you can kind of see there's a show going on in there on that screen. So I'll try to, it's hard to see this far away what's going on, but nonetheless, there it is. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Testing out live stream for the first time and hoping to eventually, over time, I know it takes a long time to get up to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my channel. And that's the big screen. Donations always appreciated and accepted, simply because I'm trying to find my way back to earning a living after returning from Florida, technically after the passings of my mom, dad, and aunt. So it wasn't a happy time, but here I am doing what I can in the meantime. So this is the beautiful walkway. Oh. some music for Adam here. He likes 80s music or thereabouts, so this is close enough, I think. Is this Journey or with Steve Perry? One more time. Aerial yoga in there. Some of those sing the blues. So I guess there's like copyright claims and stuff to worry about. I totally forgot about that. I can't monetize right now anyway. Hopefully there won't be a strike or anything, but I'm pretty sure it just comes up as a claim. So I'm not performing the music or claiming it as my own per se. So there's some, beautiful vine. I love, what they did over here. It reminds me of one of my clients because she has this in her home, in her courtyard. But it's all this dried vine right here on the wall. And Philly tries to keep nature implemented into the city as much as possible. So there's the Comcast building. I'm hoping I'm capturing it on, it's hard to do there. And that's the city. All right, don't stop believing, it says the song. So the other misconduct over here, there's at least two misconducts. I feel like there might be a third one. Comcast Technology Center, the second one over there. I think I got it right. Hopefully I did. So anyways, there you go. So I will work my way back home after all that. A little walk on a Friday evening as the sun was setting. Beautiful temperatures. Here we go. Philly's a little bit risky with everyone turning, even with the crosswalks in one's favor. One more pan up here. And there you have it. All right. So I will head south. 18th Street. Heading back towards Rittenhouse Square this way. All the way up there, there's a radio tower. You kind of can't see it in this view, but there's a radio tower way up on the Claridge down there. So for some reason they have the biggest radio tower there. Heading back towards Market. We were just on actually JFK. Sometimes I get mixed up with JFK Market. Even though I know these streets inside and out for years, walked around here as a dog walker to the point where it's like, I knew every nook and cranny, even down to like the exact addresses of some of these places. So anyway, having been in Florida for a couple years, I kind of forgot a few things. So do I want to turn here, or we'll turn really quick here? It's for Adam, Liberty Place over there with the pink lights, hopefully. And then we'll cross up here. This light should be changing. I put a charger in just to keep the phone going because it cut out while I was in the Gayborhood earlier. So anyway, art bar over there, Sinesta. So I find it interesting with the live streams. I mean, Philly only has so much going on. You know, New York always has a million things going on. Events, shows, lights, stuff out on the street. In Philly, it's like, oh, I'll have to come out here with like a list of topics to talk about just to keep it going and to keep people engaged. So anyway, and with that said, again, I would engage with the chat. Because it's a test run, I have no clue how to read the chat while filming at the same time. In fact, I'm kind of like practicing with my phone to make sure I'm filming. Like, I think the phone is pointed in one direction. I think I'm filming one thing, and it's possible I'm filming something else. So I'm like, I thought that was pointed at Comcast. Meanwhile, I'm all the way over at another building. So anyway, we'll see. I can't wait to look at it when I get home. Just to see how it turned out. So I have one that I guess it was one big long live stream, right? It did have me resume. I thought I was gonna have to start up a second one, but I was able to resume. So anyway, the one that we started. So Continental over there with the big olive. There's a big speared olive. You can hardly see it because of the light, but there's an olive there. Rittenhouse 10. That's for Adam as well because Rittenhouse 10 is up there. So one of these, I had an electric skateboard. I love those things. But I think it's a little too risky to try right now. The electric skateboard I had a really cheap one. It was a swag board. And it was one of the first models they came up with. So that would include like just a battery mounted on the bottom of the skateboard. I think they wanted to upgrade so that you could remove an old, like if you needed to switch out batteries to keep going, you could remove it, sort of like an electric bike. You can switch out the battery. They might have done that. I don't know. So I practiced it in my apartment when I first got it. It was the Bruno Brothers. Brute. It's too funny because I had a friend who was referred to as a brute all the time, and they would totally like roll out the brute. Oh look, that looks like her. As a matter of fact, of the with the eyelashes on the headlights. That's so funny. So anyway, dumping a bunch of ice. Yeah. So that sounds about right. So anyway, it's a little bit of a joke because I had a friend who, technically kind of a friend. She was a client / friend-ish. And she and her family they come from a lot of money. They moved to Seattle. So she might have been called an ice queen here and there. It's a little bit funny. So we're over here at the other trio. I believe this is the other trio, right? So there's a trio over in the Gayborhood and there's a trio over here. This is their outdoor dining chalet. As cute as it is, I don't know how long they get to keep it outside. It's come down to like some restaurants are dismantling their outdoor dining chalets and some aren't. So I don't know. That's decided. If it's a case-by-case basis, or some people, if it depends on the street and which side of the street needs to stay open because they just opened up traffic. Like here, they just opened up traffic for on Sansom. This is kind of new. This block, they always had it running, but the block further, like way over east, it was closed for a while. They do have construction, though, on the block, the 16 to 1700 block. That's near my building. Just because there's construction, they can't have traffic coming through there on Sansom. So anyway, we will wind it down here. I used to take yoga at Maha Yoga down here, but she had to move with the pandemic and everything and all the changes. She had to move Justicia de Clue. And I love her yoga. So I apologize if I talk about how I'm sad that yoga has changed so much here in Philadelphia. But anyway, she is further west, over down by the guitar studio place and the comedy helium place. So she's a few blocks west with a brand new studio there, which was a necessary thing to do because of the pandemic. And I think she added some verbiage to her sign. So it says Maha Yoga for back and chronic pain and something. So anyway, she does teach the kind of vinyasa that I love. I can't afford to take in-studio classes right now. So anyway, that's the dealio there. And things have changed. Like back when I was taking yoga and practicing yoga, she was able to offer things like $7 power hour yoga. That it went up to $8, but it didn't go past $8. By the time I moved in 2018, it's still held at $8 for a power hour. That's incredibly good for yoga, incredibly inexpensive. So I think you can call her and ask if she can do sliding scale. She might be able to do that for people. I know that she doesn't have, the same prices for power. I don't even know if she offers power hour right now. She has a whole different format and everything going on. So anyway, I'm kind of hoping the mail came in. I don't know if the mailman came before I checked my mailbox. When I checked my mailbox when I left the building, I was expecting a piece of mail. It wasn't in there. So either the mailman hadn't arrived or they had and the mail just wasn't there yet. So anyway, there's Vince's shoes. All right, so with that, I will end the live stream here, and I thank you for anyone who stayed in, commented, live chatted, all of that. I will figure out how to use this thing in the best way possible as time goes on. So with that said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or check out my GoFundMe links are similar on my About page. I am in the process of trying to earn a living as we speak. So thank you so much. And I'll try to figure out how to turn it off. I actually don't know how to do that. But anyway, have a really sweet and good night. It's beautiful weather tonight in Philadelphia. Good crowds out, good vibes. Thank you so much. I will do this. And Ari, want you to stop streaming? Yes.